Well, hello, everybody. Oh, technical difficulties, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Bitten Apple presents Apple Bites. This morning has been plagued with nothing but technical difficulties, and it started last night on my show, The Tickling Tea, when all of a sudden my internet just went out. Crazy, crazy, crazy little gremlin things. I need to go in here and smudge my whole house. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you all thank you so much for holding out for half an hour while I worked out things in the back end. This is going to be an interesting day because Ralph is not here with me and I am running this by myself. God help me. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get into it because we are a little late. And yes, he's commenting in the background because he's saying I'll do a great job. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, with that being said, I just wanted to welcome you all. Thank you for hanging out with us. And I promise this is going to be a really great show today. It's also going to be funny just to see what we do come up with today. But I wanted to wish everyone a happy Chinese New Year, happy Lunar New Year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Lunar New Year. This is the year of the ox. And if you are born the year of the ox, then I hope this is a very auspicious time for you. So, yes, and believe it or not, it's also Valentine's Day. Yes, it is. It's Valentine's Day, and I am telling you, not really one of my favorite times of the year. I have to tell you, it's a lot of pressure for people during Valentine's Day. But if this is one of your favorite holidays, then have at it, go at it. I think that, enjoy this day of love. Love should be given every year, every moment. Just not one particular day where everybody is inundating everybody with flowers and hearts and all this other kind of stuff. It's a very strange day. People really don't know the behind the scenes about Valentine's Day. It's actually kind of scary if you think about it. I encourage you, if you are a fan of this holiday, to go and look it up and find out what the beginnings and the origins of Valentine's Day is. Then you might kind of consider or reconsider actually spending time enjoying this day. That's all I'm going to say. But also, let's get into it. This is Black History Month, and this is something that we decided that we were going to do. We were actually going to feature Black superheroes this month, be it from the DC universe, the Marvel universe, or independent. We cannot go through this whole entire month with just each Saturday trying to highlight as many of them that are out there. But I promise you this, that as part of the Bitten Apple TV, Apple Bites, I think we should actually highlight a lot of the independent Black superheroes that are out there. So I'm going to suggest to my co-host that we do like a highlight 2 each time we come on so that people kind of get out there and promote the independent artists that are out there creating new superheroes in new universes. So today, I kind of want to highlight someone that if you are watching WandaVision, I wanted to give a little bit of background about Monica Rambeau. So this is, thank you, Kurt. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. This is very interesting because a lot of people don't know very much about Monica Rambeau. I am so excited to see this character come to life and to come to the screen. Now, you met her, believe it or not, when she was part of the Marvel, the Avengers, Captain Marvel universe, yes. And her mom has an integral part in the beginnings and the origins of something we call SWORD, which originally was S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't get into all the background about what happened there with SWORD and S.H.I.E.L.D. and why it is now S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, one day maybe we'll go and revisit that. But you read her in this with Captain Marvel, and her mom is Captain Marvel's best friend. And you met her in the universe, the last Avengers movie, if you remember that little girl. Now you're asking yourself, how is it that this little girl becomes a superhero? There is an origin story for her, but I really love how WandaVision created her origin story. And if you have not seen this, I'm not going to give you any spoilers here and everything, but I highly recommend, if you are a fan of this universe, to watch the last episode of WandaVision. It is so exciting seeing the beginnings and the origin of this character, Monica Rambeau, and her becoming Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel, actually. I tell you, I'm so excited. You just don't, I can't even talk about it. But yes, we are going to see this character transform. Now, we only have 3 more episodes of WandaVision. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to play this out. But this might be the origin stories of all of the universe that they are creating for television. The origins of Monica Rambeau is that she was born and raised in New Orleans. She's the daughter of Maria Rambeau, a successful seamstress and firefighter, Frank Rambeau. That's her dad. And Monica was a lieutenant in the New Orleans Harbor Patrol, and fate came upon her one day when she gained superpowers after being bombarded by extra-dimensional energy produced by an energy disruptor weapon created by a criminal scientist. Now, the origin story for her and WandaVision is slightly different. They kind of updated it, but I'm liking where they're going with it. She was originally given the name of Captain Marvel by the media, and not long afterwards, she visited New York, hoping to get to help in controlling her powers. There, she caught the attention of a young Peter Parker, whose spider sense led him to believe she posed a threat. She was followed by Spider-Man during her search for help, and after clearing up the misunderstanding, she was finally assisted by Tony Stark. So you see how everything is coming about for this particular character. It's so exciting to see her become who she is. And she was actually recruited by Black Panther to fend off vampire outbreak in New Orleans. And of course, that included Luke Cage and Blade, and Black Panther and Brother Voodoo. And that's somebody else we probably need to highlight. But Monica has history within the Marvel Universe, and I'm so excited to see her come to life in WandaVision. So kudos to WandaVision for creating their own origin story for her, but I'm sure they're going to keep the context of who she is. Now, let's go into another Black superhero that most people don't know about, and that is Blackjack. Now, Blackjack was created by a guy by the name of, what's his name? See, this is what I need Ralph to help me. I think his name is Alan. Let me look at the origin story for him. Alex Simmons, who's the creator and writer of this particular character. He first appeared in comics in 1996 under the banner of DAP, which is Dark Angel Publishing Comics. The first 3 issues miniseries was called Second Bite of the Crow Cobra, and introduced Aaron, who is this character, to the world. And in this storyline, we meet Aaron as an adult in New York City while events a world away in Egypt caused him to return to the region where he was reunited with Silas Lincoln, a white man from Arkansas, and his deceased father's best friend. Together with the beautiful and exotic Miriam and a group of mercenaries, they must defeat a Bedouin warlord threatening peace in the region. So this guy doesn't necessarily have what we would call traditional superpowers, but he is like a soldier of fortune. And I highly recommend that you all read this or check out Alex Simmons' work, because, he's a progenitor of a lot of good work that is out there. He is really, really a lot of good work on it. And I love Brother Voodoo too. I think you should always look into this universe. This is a really interesting and unique universe. But really take a look at Blackjack by Alex Simmons. He has a lot of storylines. I mean, he's fighting all kinds of bad guys, but he's just badass. Not necessarily with superhero, abilities, just badass, shooting, soldier of fortune, just everything. Hi, Mia. So check out Blackjack and everybody in that particular, the DAP universe where he was first introduced. Just beautifully written, well-written action series. And I'm just wondering when this is probably going to come to screen. I believe that they might have tried to put this to screen, but not to the level or the excellence that we have seen out of the Marvel universe per se. And anything big budget like Marvel or DC. But I would love to see a Blackjack story. If you know anything about Blackjack and you are an audience member out there, let me know if you'd like to see that be put on the big screen. And maybe, who knows, maybe we could pitch it to somebody and see it. But I think that it would be awesome. But anyway, let's go on because we are running, close to our time due to our little technical difficulties. My first guest, I'm so excited to introduce her. I've known her. I know that we have a mutual friend, which is Ralph, but it's interesting enough. We had one of these conversations that I saw her on the Bitten Apple Facebook page, and I was like, how do you know her? I was very protective of her. She actually was my dance instructor when I was attending classes, learning a mix of Bollywood and classical Indian dance. She is a beautiful dancer, a beautiful spirit, and we are kindred because we are both born, I think, on the same day, come to think of it. Or she's born in the same month as I am. I'll ask her when I bring her in. But I just kind of want to give you all a brief introduction of our next guest. I'm going to read her bio real quick. She is a Sarah Lawrence graduate and a Brooklyn-based artist since 2006. She is what you call a multi-hyphenate interdisciplinary artist, and she is extremely creative. I'm going to just add that. She's a professional dancer, choreographer, performer, visual artist, fashion designer, and educator. She's been developing her craft for over the last 15 years. She's passionate about dance, and her expertise is Indian dance, Bollywood, Bharatanatyam, semi-classical Bhangra, etc. So she runs the gamut. She also mixes it with some kind of modern flair as well. Not only that, she is a designer. She has designed some of the most beautiful, colorful pieces of clothing that I have ever had the pleasure of setting eyes on. And I am telling you that. You talk about brilliance and color and putting all those colors together. It's just beautiful. She had the honor to dance at prestigious venues like United Nations headquarters, Shakespeare in the Park in Central Park, the NJ Pack, off-Broadway theaters, and New York City, the Brooklyn Museum, the House of Yes. I mean, she's danced everywhere. She's even danced on the Brooklyn Bridge or the Williamsburg Bridge. And I'm going to show that to you at some point. Or you can actually go check it out. I actually have some footage of her dancing. So I think what speaks best for her is not necessarily her bio, because I could read this bio, but I think you need to get to know who she is. So without further ado, let me introduce you to her. One second.
मितवा माने नाही मितवा माने नाही मुसकत सखेरी मितवा माने नाही बीर बीर बरजो करप करत कायसी हम सन विपद भैरी मितवा माने नाही मितवा माने नाही निकट निज पग धरत छैल विनती करो सुध बुध बिसर गए रे मितवा मान नाही मितवा मान नाही
रंग दी चुनरिया मोरीला चुनरिया मोरी और रंग मेरे रंग दी
मितवा नाही माने
रंग में चुनरिया रंग दी
मितवा मितवा
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please let me introduce to you Miss Alisha Desai. Hi!
Hi! Hi,
Hi!
Leslie. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for sticking it out with me here. This is an very interesting day today. So that was such a beautiful piece that you just did. What inspires you to create these type of pieces and these type of settings? Because it was just beautiful. It was just well done. I mean, it just was a beautiful day. It was just like perfect to be dancing on a rooftop somewhere.
Yes, thank you so much. I really just love kind of combining, I love New York City, so I love showcasing different environments around New York and then including my background in dance. So I love adding the Indian element, Indian flair, but putting it together with more of an urban setting, just because it feels the most authentic to me.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, you've done a lot of pieces that I've actually had the pleasure of looking at them, and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. And she just finds like the right spot. I mean, are you just walking by a place one day and you go, I'm going to dance there?
I do that. Yeah. Whenever I'm walking around, if I see a really great location, I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect for my next dance video.
Oh my goodness. I love it. And the angles and stuff. Now, who actually films your performances while you're doing that? Do you have a particular person that, you go to that does that? And
So that one and most of my recent videos have been my boyfriend. So I'm lucky enough to have a very talented boyfriend, cameraman, Hassan. He films my videos. He edited that one. And now actually I've learned to edit myself too. So I don't have to be totally reliant on him. Although it is nice to have him at least film it so I can get all the great angles. But I've been getting into videography myself and some of the behind the scenes works as well.
See, that's what you do. You hire your boyfriend because he could get you in all your best angles because you look so gorgeous there dancing. It was just really pretty and just very freeing. It's very freeing. Now you and I definitely have a past. So the first time that I met you, believe it or not, I think you were teaching me. I took a course before I even started actually dancing with this dance company. I took a course with you at Ajna Dance. You didn't come in, but we were taking a particular disciplinarian, and I think we were learning probably Natyam or something like that. It was like a whole Saturday day class, and you came in and taught. Do you remember this? Or you came in and taught a part of it or whatever. It was all I remember. It was one of the most painful days I've ever spent in my life. But
Natyam is hard.
Yes, it is very, very hard. But we want to shout out to Manila Shah, who is the owner of Ajna Dance. She has actually connected a lot of people together with different disciplines, people from different backgrounds to come in and learn fusion and particular techniques of classical Indian dance. And this is how I had the pleasure of meeting Alisha and some of my other favorite, what I call gurus of dance there. So you are still performing with her, and you are, and by the way, she's a beautiful, beautiful choreographer. You all, I highly recommend that you do check them out. They are doing virtual classes, from what I understand, if you want to kind of learn this particular art form. But tell us how you got you became a part of Ajna Dance.
Yeah, so I actually was a part of Ajna Dance even before it has its name, Ajna. So I was there from the beginning, and I just met Manila through a mutual friend, and we sat down to coffee one day. I believe this was probably, it has to be around maybe 7 years ago now. Time just flies by, but I've been a part of the company for a long time, and it's been great. We have had a lot of classes through Zoom, working with the schools especially, and different presentations on Indian dance. So they've still kept me busy through the pandemic. So
oh, thank God, thank God. And that's kind of difficult when you are creative, especially when it comes to dance as an art form. You know, you're not in an atmosphere where you're actually teaching and physically seeing something. And this is one of the things that I love about dance, is that it is such a good workout, and then it culminates into something. You've created an art piece, literally, after you've finished your workout. You've created you know, a choreography that ends up being something that you can repeat over and over and over again. And it's pleasurable too, you know.
Yes, because you know, I hate just plain workouts. I can't do it. I hate it. So put some rhythm in there, give me some dance moves, make it an art form, then I can do it.
Yeah, it is. I have to tell you that if you're not familiar, if our audience is not familiar with classical Indian dance, can you kind of give us like a little background on classical Indian dance, so that people know that it's a particular art form that they've been doing for over 2,000 years. And can you just kind of give people, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm in love with classical Indian dance. It has completely changed my life, learning that particular dance discipline. And I don't think I could ever go back to anything else, especially anything that has a European base. It is one of the most grounded dance forms I've ever seen, and probably one of the most extensive in the fact that it uses every part of your body, from your facial expressions to your fingers to even your toes. It is an amazing art form, but kind of give us a little bit of a background about that.
Sure. Okay, so India actually has many dance forms that are traditional. So there's classical dances, there's also folk dances. So to relate it to something you may be familiar with in the Western world, ballet would be an example of a classical dance form. So it's a style that requires a lot of training, discipline, technique. There's a lot of formal rules to it. And in India, there's actually 9 different classical dance styles. So it's very rich in its dance history. Bharatanatyam is from South India. That's probably the oldest dance form, and it dates back around 1000 BCE. So it's actually around 3,000 years old. Very ancient, started in the temples. Kathak is another really popular Indian classical dance that's from northern India, and it was developed during the Mughal rule. So in the royal courts, it was developed. And those are some Odissi dancers. That's another style. So they have a lot of similarities, but all differently their own technique. They all use the mudras or hand gestures. There's always a storytelling aspect. So you have storytelling, and then you have rhythmic. We wear gungrus on our feet. And so our feet become musical instruments as well. So yeah, it's just a very rich history and technique.
It is, and I think that what you said there is like what important is the fact that you're telling a story. You're actually telling ancient stories about gods and goddesses, or stories about love. I mean, it is as old as you can get. The origins of it are older than ballet or any type of European art form that we know of as dance, and just as strenuous too. And you were talking about the gumroos on your ankles. They are bells that you make that have this that actually go to the rhythm of all of everything that you hear when you dance. So not only are you keeping rhythm while you're dancing, listening to music, you're also doing other functionalities within it. Like I said, it's probably one of the most difficult dance styles that I've ever learned, but the one that I just love the most. Like I always say that I love Paranathiam, but I think Kathak actually stole my heart, because it is just as beautiful and fluid and flowing as it is. I love this dance style. I miss it a lot now that we are during this pandemic. So tell us a little bit now about some of the other things that you're doing outside of dancing. And you are a creative artist at that, beautiful dancer, creative artist and stuff. You also are a designer. So tell us how you got into that.
So I originally got into fashion design through art first. So I'm an artist. I do paintings. I wore one of my designs today in honor of the show. I have
let me pull you up so that everybody can see this. Oh, that's great. Oh,
yes. So this is my Daisy Wonder Woman.
I love that.
So I love Wonder Woman, obviously fierce. And I saw a pose of her one day. She was doing this, something like it. And I'm like, that reminds me of some Dundia Ross. And her cuffs to me looked like
bangles.
Exactly. Yeah. So I put some Dundia, which are the sticks, in her hand. So she's a Gujarati Wonder Woman. So Dundia Ross, that's actually a folk dance that comes from India. So I said, like classical dances, all the states also have their own folk dance. Folk, you can think of, folk means people, right? So folk dances are dances of the people, meant for everybody to dance in the community, celebrating together. So that's what I have in this one. And my first process, I actually have a painting right here. So I would paint, and then, I'd just put it on my fashion.
Oh, and I love that.
That's really how it started. I started with tote bags being, the simplest. Okay, I already have a square platform. Let me put it on a design. And then eventually it got more complex. So this one, I created the textile and I sewed that one myself. I learned some pattern making. That was all fairly recently. So within the last 2 years, I've taught myself how to sew, make patterns. And so I still work on my art. So I use my paintings. That one I hand painted on the jacket. So I incorporate a lot of the dance elements to the fashion, a lot of colors. So my site, if you would like to check out my stuff, it's www.desai.design.
Yeah, I actually pulled it up so that people can see it. So let me share that with everyone, because these pictures don't do this any service. If you have to look at the website itself. So let me see if I can pull this up, because it is absolutely gorgeous. 1 second. Yeah, I couldn't go without showing everybody how gorgeous this site is. So these are some of the designs that she's created. I see you're doing masks now, so this is really
that's
good.
My Etsy page. So I have that one. I have the Etsy, and then I have even more stuff.
Let me look at this site design. Can you tell me just one more time what it is?
Yeah, It's www.desai.design. So no .com or anything.
All right. So this is some of the stuff that she has created. Just gorgeous. And I actually purchased one of her katak shirts. I was going to wear it and I couldn't find it, so I'm going to wear it. I'm going to actually rock that on some other episode of our show. But just beautiful. Look at this print. These are some of your folk design. The skirt, so cute. Wow, just do you dream in all this color? Because I don't know how you put all this color together. And it looks so good.
Yes.
Let's look at some of the women's clothing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
There is your Wonder Woman design. Skirts. Just really pretty. Alisha, these are gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Now, who models for you? Do you have your friends model for you, or?
I do. I have gorgeous friends. A lot of my dancer friends who don't mind me taking pictures of them. So I kind of steal time with them whenever I could. A lot of times when we would have just even rehearsals or a show, some downtime, I would ask my friends, "Hey, do you mind? I have a few t-shirts, or I have a few hoodies. Like, can you model them real quick?" And they let me do it. So usually, no big fancy shoot, but I just get them when I can.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you getting ready to say? So go ahead and finish what you were getting ready to say, and then I wanted to ask you about some of this stuff featured possibly in Fashion Week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I'm lucky enough to have friends that just let me do it on the fly, and I just do it myself with usually my cell phone. Oh, I have one of my designs.
Oh, wait, when did that come out?
That one came out relatively new. I have that painting here too. I put some paintings by me just in case. But yeah, this is the original painting.
I remember that design. I remember that one when that first came out, because that was when before you started actually producing more. That was one of your original designs. I do remember that.
I have the one of the shirt. You got this.
Yeah. Yes. So gorgeous. Yep. I love that one.
Obviously,
I can't. And the shirt, as pretty as the picture is, the shirt is equally as gorgeous. It's really pretty. Really
I
pretty.
really need to see a photo of you in the shirt.
All right. I
play it too.
I promise I will take a photo of it and do my review on the webpage. So what is next for Alisha Desai? What is next for you? What are your dreams and ambitions going forward?
What is next? So it's been a strange year, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like this year has been more about kind of planting seeds and letting things grow slowly in the future. So right now I've just kind of been working on all of my skills, just trying to get more skills, be a better artist. Mm-hmm. And so the exact outcome for each project, I'm not sure yet where it's going to take me. I've kind of just taken smaller projects in hand that I know I can do kind of on my own, feel accomplished with it, make some, videos, put them out. Right before the pandemic happened, I was planning on doing a fashion show that incorporated more of a performance element. So I wanted to get dancers together, rehearsals. So it was more of a showcase, dance, art, fashion, more of a live presentation more than just a traditional runway show.
Right.
So I'm excited to kind of get that off the ground. when things open back up. In the meantime, it's been me a lot of times just with my tripod outside doing a dance. Me at home working on Illustrator is my new. I taught myself Illustrator and some graphic design this year.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Do you think that you probably missed your calling? In a sense, because I mean, obviously, you're picking this up and you're actually doing this with such, you're doing it so well. You're creating it so well. It's coming out so well. You know, do you think you would ever give up dance to become a full-time designer?
I'm just pursuing both, and whatever opportunities come at me, I just embrace them. So I think there's kind of room to keep all of your passions there, and when the right time for one aspect to shine comes and presents itself, it will. So I just my feeling is, as long as I stay creative, stayed inspired, do things that make me feel good, the right opportunities will come and push me along even further. So that's kind of how I'm operating at the moment.
So you just go on with the flow.
Exactly.
I like that. If you had, no, I have a personal question to ask you. If
Sure.
you had a dream of someone that you wanted to dance with on stage or in a film, who would that be?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And it could be from somebody from the past or the future. I mean, or the present.
I mean, this is cheesy, but I'm not gonna lie. It'd be awesome to dance with Shah Rukh Khan, like the most actor.
Who wouldn't want to? Who wouldn't want to? Oh my gosh. Hey, we put it out there. If he's listening out there, you know.
Old school Shah Rukh Khan. So
old school.
Time warp it.
Not the new one. You know, that's funny that you said that, the old school one, because you know, it's interesting that a lot of Bollywood actors stay around for a very long time, and it's so strange that they don't really age. And you're wondering, how do they manage that? How do they manage looking like that? You might know, something about their body movements might be a little bit stiffer than when they were younger. But some of them still look so good.
That's true.
I know there might have been a little nip and tuck here and there, but they still have the same type of fan base that they had when they were young. It's like they don't ever leave us, those characters. And if you all don't know who Shah Rukh Khan is, he is a very famous Bollywood, I would say, leading man. So, which I would highly recommend. What is your favorite movie of his?
Oh man, I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't even know.
I just put you on the spot. That's what it is. I put you on the spot there. Okay. Well, if he is out there listening, Alisha would love to dance with you. That would make her a millennium. And then one more thing. If you had somebody, let's say, in Bollywood that you were designing for, and you were their what do you call it? It's their designer that you put them together, their clothing and stuff like that. Who would that be? Their stylist. Who would it be?
Okay, I'm looking at all of these like old school icon, legendary celebrities. So actually, the best dancer in Bollywood is Madhuri Dixit. So I would love to design for Madhuri. And I might even have to change my answer. Like I'm thinking of, when I thought of my dream dancer, like a couples dance, but no, like Madhuri,
Madhuri Dixit.
I'd kind of pick her, and I'd want some lessons. Like I'd want some tips from her, like how I can get my expression.
She's doing it on YouTube, by the way. Did you know that she's actually having lessons on YouTube? I've never priced the classes. I've never priced them, but yes, she does. You can learn from Madhuri Dixit on YouTube. Yes, girl. Amazing. I found it.
Amazing.
I don't know if you could ever pick up the nuances that she has. I mean, she is just such a beautiful, beautiful, incredible dancer. I I put one time on my Facebook page, my favorite movie is Devdust. And and people were like, what is that? You don't look at that kind of movie. Yes, I do. When I decided to learn how to dance Kathak, and when I decided to learn how to do any type of Indian dance, the first thing that I saw was her dancing. And it changed my world. The opulence of her clothing, the way that she can make her face and her eyebrow move
Exactly.
to the beat of a
Do that. Like I really would like I don't have much eyebrow control. I need
people don't know that that's art to actually be able to move that muscle and to do it to music.
on rhythm, right?
Yes, y'all, she's just like she's timeless. There's nobody like her. And that changed my life watching her dance. Then I, finally got a copy of Devdust to actually watch it. Typical story.
To be honest, like I think as the movie as a whole, I'm not that into. Like the story's okay, but the songs and the songs and the dancing are all amazing. Like there's like a dozen songs that are like classic hits that are beautiful.
And something that you could dance to like forever.
Exactly.
Timeless dancing. And I remember my recital with Ajna, the one before last, we actually got to dance to one of her songs. And I think one of my friends out there, Kavita out there, she was like, oh, it's your song, girl. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to dance to this song. I'm so excited. We got to Sachi Fene. Sachi was the one that actually choreographed this particular piece. And I was just so excited to dance that, to recreate that moment in the film when she's dancing and seducing at the same time, and also cajoling and teasing. She's just a beautiful dancer, you all. If you don't know who she is, you should really check her out, because everything we're saying about her doesn't even describe what you're going to see when you see her on screen. So that's actually good. I would say I would think that that's a good one. So where can we find you? I know we have everything scrolling on the bottom right here, but where's the best? We have you at your dance, at your video gallery where we can see you dance. Please go in and patronize her and actually buy some of her designs. I'm telling you all, it will change your life. The color, the vibrancy, everybody will be asking you where you got it. But is there anything else that we didn't put on the bottom that you're going to be doing? You're creating this show. When do you think that this show, post-COVID, when do you think that it's going to come to fruition, and where are you going to see it?
I'm planning, I would say around the fall, but honestly, the planning stages right now, it's kind of a mystery. So I'd say keep in touch with me. Follow me on my Instagram. So I have both Desai_design. You'll see it pop up in the thing, and also Alisha D does it. I'll keep everybody updated. So when there are live shows, I'll make sure you know about them. You can follow me on Facebook, on my website, on YouTube. Right there, it's Alisha Desai 1, easy to find. But yeah, keep in touch.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out too while I was trying to work out everything in the background. I am so excited to see what is going to become of you in the future. And I'm looking forward to dancing with you again. She's a beautiful dancer and a more amazing teacher. So I am so looking forward to it. She's tough too. She was tough on me a little bit.
Oh, and I would like to let the audience know that we have another semester of classes coming up with Ajna Dance, where I met Leslie. So we have starting in March. So if you go to ajnadance.com, if you want to take some Bollywood Bhangra with me, we also have semi-classical classes. Then,
Yep, and it's a great workout, you all. I'm telling you, it's a great workout. It will challenge you. It'll challenge your body. It will challenge your mind, but it is so well worth it. And I can guarantee you, after you learn the type of fusion of classical Indian dance, you will never want to go back to any other type of dance. You will keep on wanting to be challenged about that until you can get to the level of grace and beauty that that art form is. So thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for hanging out and everything. And we're definitely going to have you back. I'm so excited to see something. And when I do have on my shirt, I will show you and everything. Maybe we can have a live fashion show.
Okay.
Who knows? A virtual fashion show of some of your things. We'll talk and we'll see if we can put something together. I mean, nowadays everything has to be created virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You're so creative. I'm sure you'll figure something out. But we should have a fashion show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I'd like to say I really love the lineup of different creatives that you brought to your show. Such a diverse group. It's really great to see this community that you've developed. So props to you.
We are always going to highlight those people out there that are independent, that are up and coming. Oops, sorry. I knew that was going to happen. And like in particular you. And so we just want to, there are so many wonderful artists out there that are not in the mainstream that people should be plugging into. And we just want to give that type of support to the community.
Definitely.
All right, girl. Have a wonderful Saturday. If you want to hang out. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, awesome. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for waiting for us. And now, so we're going to go into our next guest. This is so weird not having a co-host because I usually can, do some banter back and forth with Raf, wherever he is. Hope that he's doing well. But I'm going to introduce our next guest. Now, I had the pleasure of actually interviewing this group in Atlantic City when we did a con there. And I just felt like they were family. I'm not kidding. It just was a really great rapport. So I'm going to show that particular episode so you all can get a little bit of a background of who they are. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. I had it pulled up. Oh, well, I guess I don't have it. Let me see. Give me a minute. This is just crazy, 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 crazy. All right, let's find this. Here we go. Just pull this forward. And all right, without further ado, let's introduce them via video.
Hey, Apple Riders and Apple TVs, this is Les, aka Sister Slayer, here at the Garden State Comic Fest in Atlantic City at the Showboat. We're here in conjunction with It Came From the Radio, and I am so excited to meet this crew right here. This is the crew from Redonkulous Entertainment. I'm just going to go around. I'm going to have you all introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm James.
I'm Kevin Ryder, CEO of Redonkulous Entertainment.
My name is Tanya. I'm the marketing and admin specialist for Redonkulous Entertainment.
My name is Ephraim. I'm the lead illustrator and the art director.
I am Michaela, and I am the newest member of the art program here.
All right, so we done met everybody. Now, I want to know who is more versed about the history of Redonkulous, how y'all came up with it, the concept. Okay, let's hear this.
How you doing? Yeah. So when I was at the age of myself, when I was like 9, 20 plus years ago. Me and my friends all got together. It was like, let's make comic books for the community, for the neighborhood. Let's do it because it wasn't popular then. So me and my friends came together and we kept drawing Blood Moon, Charge, and so on. And then we evolved Tanya, which is 20 plus years. I'm not Asian, you and Mike. And she evolved her husband. And then we evolved JB. Then we evolved Nigel, who drew it, who's right there.
He doesn't like to be on camera, but we're going to show him anyway.
So pretty much the history is a bunch of friends, a bunch of kids came up with an idea, and 20 plus years later, here it is.
Now, you all have your own comics, so let's look at some of what they have here. Tell us a little bit about your characters. In particular, go ahead. That's about Night Owl.
Well, basically, this is Charge. Charge is more of our cosmically powered person, like give it a Silver Surfer, Superman on that level. All the work you see was hand drawn by this gentleman at the end. That's our artist, and then it was put together and then put together in comic book form and then mass produced. We also have Blood Moon, which is one of my favorites. This is more of our secret agent / like Deadpool. Everybody likes the secret agent. This guy kills, but he's so much more than that. And he has no problem with telling you how he feels about it either. We have the second issue to Blood Moon is number 2. That's on the end of the table. And we also have part 4 will be out later on this year. I'm sorry, part 3 will be out later on this year. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Now, I noticed that you guys have, like, when you open it up, is there a reason or is it a choice that you guys made not to put color on this one in particular, or, Blood Moon? Is that just the style?
Well, Blood Moon handles his business, so if we put color on there, they'd be red all over these pages. So that's why we put it red on the cover.
You like the gritty?
We thought it was like a gritty aesthetic that it gave it a nice little touch to it that we liked. Now with Charge, however, it was more volatile, more colorful, explosive. So we wanted to add more color to that as well. That's why.
And I noticed you guys have a T-shirt too. This is a hot T-shirt. Look at that. He looks better than Deadpool in there. Oop, I said it. Yes, he does. He is like, look at that. That's man right there. That's a great design. Love this. So now, I see that you brought in some new people. You did this now you are from Atlantic City originally. Everybody's from Atlantic City, or
Yes, pretty much. Yes.
yeah. So in your
Yes.
so what is it that compelled you, for your community? Because what was it that you just said, look, I want to write comics for my community? Is it that because it was an African-American community? Was it because, there was struggles in that community? What was it that just drew you to come up with Redonkulous Entertainment?
Pretty much family. Like I always say, Redonkulous Entertainment is more than just a company. We're a family. And back then, when I grew up making comic books, I used to get bullied because of that. And I had to show the world there was more than just whatever the cliche of the community was. So that's what me and my friend LeVar came together. Like, we can show more. We can do more. It's things outside the box, comic books, entertainment that the community can do. And that's what compelled me to bring the family together. And
now, if people don't realize this, we was having this discussion about this. This was a struggle back in the day. So I'm probably a lot older than everybody here. I'm just gonna say that right now. So I grew up in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. And me as a nerd, as a black girl as a nerd, that was unheard of. It was hard enough to be a black girl in a Caucasian or a majority of the white society, but then to be a nerd, I did not fit in at all. And we were discussing this about how we feel. And one of the things that we were talking about was now the platform of social media is bringing all of us together, uniting us. So explain to me kind of what your struggles were as far as a female and being African-American and being a nerd or a geek. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. As far back as I can remember, from my parents even, I was raised up on Star Trek, like the old Star Trek episodes, Star Wars, comic books, like all that kind of stuff. I was all
Okay, that was weird. I don't know why we got cut short like that. And that wasn't my doing. So just some weirdness. But we've got Tanya here. So we're going to let Tanya finish that story. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's have Tanya from Redonkulous and Kevin, the co-founder of Redonkulous. Welcome, you all. What? That was so weird. Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yo, this is just one of those days that this is just the strangest day ever. Ever. That was so weird that got cut off like that. Strange.
That's okay. Tanya's going to go on and on and on and on and on anyway.
Thank you so much.
Tanya, let everybody know what you were about to say when you were saying about being a nerd.
Right. So basically, I was saying that I was always into Star Wars. I was always into Star Trek. You know, my mom kind of brought me up on a lot of that stuff. So into comic books and things like I got a lot of that from my parents as well. And just it was tough, even, you know, in terms of I don't think like everybody else. I never had. I've always kind of been into my own thing and, you know, into sci-fi and into different types of music and things. So just, you know, I've always gotten kind of like, oh, well, you listen to this type of music or you listen to that type of music. And good music is good music, period. Even when it comes to like, you know, in terms of comic books and in terms of sci-fi and things, just, you know, a good storyline doesn't age. So I've always been a firm believer in that.
You know, I think about the reason why a lot of us were teased for watching that kind of stuff was they considered to be, you know, white people stuff. The thing is that, look at us now. I don't know where some of those people are today that, you know, kind of shunned that, but look at us now. You know, we are still loving this content. This is our world because now there ain't nothing but superheroes, sci-fi, all of that is out there. And we just stuck into the game. So this is no surprise to us. We've been making our mark along with the movement of that type of genre all along. So, you know,
the rest
and we
of the
still
world
do
is
it.
just catching up.
You're just catching up. Yes, you're just now catching up. Definitely, definitely. And now you all, one of the things that I did not get to do was kind of read you all's bio. So let me just kind of go over that very quickly. So you are a 9-person team from Atlantic City, New Jersey that specializes in all forms of entertainment, including but not limited to independently creating, publishing a variety of comic books, operating a successful clothing line. Wait a minute, that's new. But that's the shirt that I remember looking at, which is Redonkulous wear. Yeah,
there's more.
There's more now. Woo! And creating various skits, artistic endeavors via their YouTube channel. Now, the team has mostly known each other since childhood, starting with its 2 founding members, writers Kevin Martin and LeVar Queen in 1991. While attending New Jersey Avenue School, these 2 childhood friends started coming up with comic book characters and gathering story ideas that would be suitable for those characters. And in the process, they created the character of Blood Moon, a highly specialized bounty hunter for the top secret Maven unit. That's MAVEN. The material that came from this imagination of these 2 youngsters over 30 years ago was perfected, edited, and then re-edited over time. And through the years, the boys attended both Central Junior High School and Atlantic City High School, meeting Nigel Frazier, Tanya Fields, Ryan Ross, Courtney Jaskin along the way. And believing in their dream together, they made this comic book world. Nigel came in as a concept designer, Courtney and Tanya as business marketing administrators, and Ryan as a writer. And this is what you all created, was Redonkulous. Unbelievable. So the last time that I saw you, and you're saying now you all have more clothing and everything, and you all have been putting on events. You got a hoodie? Wait, are you wearing it? Are you wearing it?
He's wearing a hoodie.
Wearing a hoodie, sweatband.
Wow.
Ladies wear.
Wow. The last time that we spoke to each other, Atlantic City, of course, we know was going through this. It's going through a difficult time, and probably even more so now with COVID. You know, how are you all managing to lift up that environment now? That because this is where you all are from. How are you all managing to to keep people motivated in that community that, you know, used to be so vibrant. It used to be such a vibrant community. And can I recommend also, if you've never been to Atlantic City, I tell you all, please go. If you when it was back in its heyday, when it was a lot of casinos and stuff like that, I don't think you really could appreciate it. Now you really can appreciate it because it's still very beautiful, beautiful beach. You got the hotels, you know, there and everything like that. It's still there. But what are you all doing now in this time of COVID to lift up that community that, you know, wasn't struggling, you know, after, I don't want to say Trump left, but we can talk about that in a minute. What are y'all doing there?
I would say, for instance, we just keep pushing on. We can't stop. We won't stop. We are doing things. We're creating projects to show people that there are other things in Atlantic City to offer, that there is a huge, vibrant community of the arts that is right here. You don't have to go to New York or go to Philly or go anywhere else except right here in your own backyard. And I think that's something that it needs to be showcased. It needs to be featured. It needs to be appreciated, because everything you need, especially for those who are coming up in the area, those who are into the arts, everything you need is right here in this city. And we, the 9 of us, are living examples of that, because even in a time of with COVID, with the pandemic, with quarantine and everything, we're still pushing through. We're still not only pushing through, but we're expanding in terms of the material that we provide, in terms of, heck, Redonkulous, where our clothing line was literally started in the middle of the pandemic, like actually developing and coming up with, you know, more things, not just t-shirts, but also headbands and hoodies and keychains and that all came about in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of quarantine. And it was kind of like we were forced to be like, okay, well, what do we do next? We can't do Comic-Cons right now, you know, live in-person events. That's a no-no. So what do we do next? And also through building our YouTube channel, that's just another way that we continue to expand our brand even further.
And before I go with what Tanya said, even when we was looking at that interview just now, I was cracking up. All the ands, but
That's all right. That's all right.
it's we told you back then, we said it day one, we're not going to stop. We can't stop. We won't stop. So nothing is going to derail us from taking over the world. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to derail. So even though pandemic and Trump and like Tanya just said, we're not going to stop. So I don't think it was a matter of really, it's a pandemic. It's pandemic, like, stop. I don't think that ever really crossed our mind. It was more, we're not going to stop. Nothing's going to stop us. Not even Corona, I guess.
Yeah, let me tell you what is a rarity, though. The fact is that, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to put it out there. This may not be the most politically correct thing to say, but we don't often see Black people sticking together this long to create something, you know, successful like this. We see these kind of alliances, it may be in the other world, but usually there's always something that makes us not be cohesive when it comes to doing this kind of work together. What do you all feel is the one thing that has kept you all together for 30 years?
Well, that's easy. Now I can answer you. Well, before we even got in business together, we all been friends. Mm-hmm. We always been close. So that was easy to, what keeps us in business together, to keep us coming out with 6 comic books now, what keeps us driving is we have a singular focus, one singular drive. We're going to make Redonkulous Studios huge. We're going to make Redonkulous Entertainment big, Redonkulous comic books big. We are singular focused on always entertaining. So when everybody's all together in agreement, it just can't stop, won't stop.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Tanya? What do you feel? Did you feel that that's the same thing, that it just keeps you all have one singular focus, and that's the thing that's keeping you all cohesive?
Absolutely. Just in terms of, you know, I always say, these are my people. This is my tribe, my crew, literally. You know, all of us on a personal level have been through so much together. And just knowing at the end of the day that these, again, it kind of goes past business partners, just knowing that these are the people that have my back. That's huge. And then, like, to expand on what he said on a professional level, yeah, we all have one singular goal, you know, just kind of expansion, just taking over the world. And I mean, as you can see, Kevin's doing the visual stuff.
Get my better white on.
There you go. But just, I mean, and I've been hearing, even before I officially became part of the business itself,
She was always part of the business. Don't let her tell you that.
Well, yeah, fine. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, going back to, you know, junior high even, which is when I met these guys, I had been hearing about Blood Moon, about all these characters and all these story ideas they had.
Black Ninja.
So just, Black Ninja, absolutely. You know, I had been hearing
we keep saying Blood Moon like Black Ninja was invented too.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My apologies.
I'm sorry, he's Black Ninja. He gets no love. He's only in maybe Blood Moon 3, which is out right now.
Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. But just, you know, I heard about all of these stories and all these characters and everything. And of course, I want to do whatever I can, use whatever talents I have to help my friends succeed, to help my people get to their dream. So that's that.
Well, how often do you all stay in touch? Do y'all like have a weekly meeting, or are y'all on the phone like you know,
every
best
single
friends
day?
Every day y'all talking on the phone.
Every single day.
Yep.
So if somebody gets an idea, do y'all call everybody, or does we just tell one? But how do y'all do that? How do y'all disseminate information for something specifically that, like an event or whatever? Do y'all have like do y'all set up a Zoom meeting? What do you do?
We have a group chat.
That's a good question.
As well.
That's a good question. Nobody ever asked that before.
I have good questions.
Especially with 9 people, you know. We have a Facebook group chat. So if there's, you know, if Kevin's the idea guy. So, you know, if he has an idea or whatever, he'll either call me or post it in the chat or both. So you know,
I call everybody actually.
Yeah.
Kevin, you have the most energy.
Some people might say that. I don't know. Oh, he's being shy. We actually chat and just again we're in constant contact, constant communication with each other. So that it's a 24/7 business, definitely.
So that never gets on your nerves. You never had one where you get something like at 3 o'clock in the morning. If he gets an idea or something like that, and you get a text and be like, "Boy, if you don't stop."
See, he's
3 o'clock in the morning sounds normal time.
Right. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds about a good time to start. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I got, you know, wipe the crust out my eyes. Okay, what ideas up now? Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, cool. That's what we're gonna do.
Now, when I interviewed you all before, you had 2 characters. You had 2 comic book characters, and now you're telling me there's some more. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that, because we featured in this segment only 2 that we had with the T-shirt and everything. But who now have you created in this universe?
I'll start this one off, Tiny. So when you interviewed us before, it was artworks of characters on the table, if you remember.
Right.
Those was actually, we already was always going to have our starting 6 characters, which consist of Maven Blood Moon.
Let me pull you up so everybody can see this. Yeah, Blood Moon, right.
Which consists of Maven Blood Moon, Charge,
pull it over a little bit.
Night Owl.
Kevin,
Night Owl character.
We
always had our starting 6. So now we're just actually getting into the more expansion of the starting 6. So it's Maven Blood Moon, Maven Arrow Shot.
Put it more in the camera because we can't see it.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, that's
special
nice.
Effects.
Yeah, that's nice.
Maven Arrow Shot. Night Owl's out, which I don't have a comic book of. Then we're going to have Eclipse and the Mysterious Black Ninja. Though we call them our starting 6 is because this is how, from these 6, our universe expands. And these are like how the Avengers did it, Tanya? Is that how we say it? How would you say it?
These are our 6 flagship characters. So you follow these guys.
That's why she's the businesswoman. She's the businesswoman. Go ahead, girl. Sell it. Sell it. Tell us,
you start with these guys and it expands into other storylines going down the road. So stay tuned. It's like watching, for instance, like the Marvel universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe. You start with the first movie at least that came out was Iron Man. You start from there and it just kind of all builds from there. So it's important to, start from the beginning so that way later on down the line you're not lost.
We're having a little bit of a delay on your end, so yeah. But okay, so that's what you did. These are like your flagship characters. One thing I did not ask you: what's the acronym MAVEN? What is the acronym? What is the
A MAVEN stands for Military Advanced Vigilant Elite Network. So it's a super organization based of military, the best of the best of the best of the best military operatives to do special things. For instance, Blood Moon is the bounty hunter of the MAVEN unit. So whenever they need to capture somebody big, they call Blood Moon. Arrow Shot is the marksman of the MAVEN unit, aka the assassin. Whenever somebody needs to be assassinated in a high profile, MAVEN Arrow Shot never misses. Etc. There's more than the MAVEN unit that I don't want to reveal too much. I'll just use the two starting flagship characters now.
Okay. All right. So we are going to be expecting some more, and I'm just excited about that. I am very, very excited about it. What has been probably the biggest success story that you could say has come from Redonkulous? What has been your biggest, like something that maybe you weren't expecting to happen, but it did? I mean, fan appreciation, somebody that was from the celebrity world. What has been like one of the biggest moments that you all have been in this 30 years that you have been together?
Well, I'll go first because I know Tanya has some. I live in the moment, so the biggest moment is right now for me. Just me, you, Leslie Fry, Tanya Fields, Redonkulous Entertainment, Bitten Apple, all of us is coming back together again doing this interview. I live in the moment, so right now this is the biggest moment. That's the best way I can explain it.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet. I love that. Kanye, what's yours?
I would definitely say that just realizing through this whole journey, essentially, that we've been through, and we've known each other for almost 30 years, but we've been an official LLC for 5 years now. So just the entire journey of, starting a business and becoming a business, and then knowing that what we do affects others. Like that this is so much bigger than just us. You know what I mean? Like that is so huge. Like there are our children, there are children in the community and things that are watching. They're watching what we do, they're watching what we make, and we're in the position to set an example for those who are coming. That just the realization of that is absolutely huge.
I think she's got a little delay.
Yeah,
I have to tell you all that when I met you all, I immediately saw the enthusiasm and the love for what you all do. And this is one of the reasons why I gravitated to your table to do an interview. And you were so gracious, and you were surprised when I came over and said, I want to interview you all. I'm very instinctual when it comes to things, when it comes to my interviews. One of the things that the process that the Bitten Apple does is that we don't go in and we just say we have a list like based on, like they'll tell you when you go to like a lot of cons, they tell you where people's tables are. They'll say this person is here, they're at this section or whatever like that. We actually walk the floor first, and then we get a feeling about a certain, person or a certain, maybe a certain art piece that's up that, an independent artist is doing. And then we go to you and say, I would like to interview you. And it was very instinctual for me, and I operate on instinct, to come over to you all and to speak to you all and to see this, because it was just a great, beautiful energy coming from that table. And I have to tell you, I was going through something very difficult at that time. My mother was very sick, and she passed away.
Sorry to hear that. I understand.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It was just like when I could not be with my mom at that time, I felt like being with y'all was like being with family. So I appreciate you all so much for that, because, you know, keep that up, keep that energy up. Don't ever separate from one another. If you all have any types of disagreements with one another, continue to fortify your relationships and get to know each other, because you all have that component that is going to make you all success. You have each other's back. And you know, if one person can't have another person's back, you got 8 other people, 7 other people that do it. I mean, really, it's the truth. But this was a wonderful energy about you all. And I just wish all the best for you all. Whatever your visions are, whatever your goal is, I wish the best, because you just are continuing to funnel in creativity into this creation that you all have established. And it is a creation. Now, one of the things that you all told me is that you do shows, you do comedy shows. Now, when you do these comedy shows, is this within the network? Is this somebody that's a comedian, or do you all find people to put on the shows and you produce the show based on the comedian? Because I haven't actually seen any of these comedy shows.
We do skits through YouTube.
Skits.
Yeah,
okay, so there's skits
and things through YouTube. One of the things that we do with our YouTube channel is we do different skits, different performances through our YouTube channel. We have, for instance, there's everything we do ourselves. First of all,
right. Everything we do is it's edited, produced, written, starring Redonkulous Entertainment, by Redonkulous Entertainment, for Redonkulous Entertainment, and of course we work with other people, but everything we do is ourselves.
So people actually come to you and say, can you produce this for me under Redonkulous Entertainment? Do people do that?
No.
Yeah,
Redonkulous Entertainment only works for Redonkulous Entertainment, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, but would you all be open to that if somebody came to you all and said, hey, we wanna know if you could produce this under your label for us, you know, as Redonkulous Entertainment?
I think we'd definitely be open to collaborations, of course. It all, I mean, it depends on the project, of course, but I think we'd be open to it.
Well, Kevin, you're saying
the round table going.
Yeah, Kevin, you know that it has to be somebody that you feel a relationship to or feel like a kindred to before you would ever do something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a good question. I never thought about that.
I told you I always have good questions.
I
guess if that ever arrives, well, I can tell you this. If that does ever come up, we'll do what we always do. We'll get the round table, we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. That I do know we'll do.
Okay.
And that's the answer.
Should we
to
let
that
this
question.
person in? You know, and that's good because you got 9 heads making the decision about something, you know. So what happens if you all do have a disagreement? Let's say that there's something that you don't decide on, but the other, like, let's say, you know, 4 people believe that it will work or 5 people don't. How do you all handle that?
It has to be unanimous.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
So we call it campaigning. So say 4 people agree and 5 people disagree. Either the 5 people got to get the 4 people to agree, or the 4 people got to get the 5 people to agree, but it has to be unanimous.
That sounds like Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly what it sounds like. I love that. I love that.
But the cool thing about us, I get more in details, is we're usually like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Okay, no problem. Word, bet. It's usually never nays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's another secret behind it.
Because we all have the good of the best interests of the business at heart. Mm-hmm. Like, again, it goes back to that whole one singular goal thing. Just, you know, once you have that, and even if an idea that maybe one of the other members have, maybe it's not something I would have suggested, but they're doing it out of the interest of the group, out of making us a success. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's do it. Let's try it. See what happens. You know?
Yeah,
gotta jump.
And it's not selfishly motivated. It's about everybody being a part of this.
This is a very non-selfish group. I can definitely say that. And they say I'm the most selfish one. And this is still a non-selfish group.
Yeah.
You're the most selfish. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
They're not selfish. selfish. Let's stop it.
He wasn't making himself a bad guy, but he really ain't. So what is your goal now from this moment forward? What is the ultimate goal of Redonkulous? What do you see? Do you all see having your own television show? Do you see it having your comic book characters on screens, on the big screen? What is the ultimate goal for you all?
All of the above.
Everything.
All of the above. The world and more.
Everything. The world. Everything.
Everything.
When we say we can't stop, won't stop, that's not a saturation. We talking cartoons, more comic books, movies. We have a YouTube channel, have our own cable channel, have a streaming site, helicopters with our name on it, buildings with our name on it.
Yeah. I like it.
Wow, I like that. I like that.
Theme parks, Redonkulous, you name it, we want it.
The name itself it signifies so much. When I saw that name, I was like Redonkulous, and I immediately started laughing because it just is that Redonkulous. The name is just like, it just makes you laugh. So I'm so excited to have had you all on here. Tell me what do you all have planned, like in the next 2 or 3 weeks? What is your plan during COVID? What are you all doing? And where we can funnel our audience into so that they can give you more support?
Well, right now we are actually in the midst of doing Redonkulous interviews. We're doing that on Facebook. We're featuring every Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. We're featuring different entrepreneurs, different Black-owned businesses, and just to kind of highlight a lot of what's going on out there in the African-American community. We also have Redonkulous trailers, which is a project for YouTube that's going to be coming up. These are trailers about each, part two. These are trailers about each of the 9 members of Redonkulous Entertainment. And what's really cool about them is that, again, 9 people, 9 different personalities, 9 different styled videos about each person. So that way you can kind of get to know each of us and kind of what we bring to the table.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
We also, if you go back on our previous YouTube channels, we have the Starting 6 theatrical trailers where we infuse real life footage with the characters and artwork. So, and it breaks down their story, their quick origin. So, and that's how much we have on YouTube. And also we're working on our first ever documentary, Tanya.
Yes, we are. We are.
I know I'm just so excited.
Okay, so what is the documentary? Tell me about that. This is news. Tell me about the documentary.
Would you like me to? Okay, yes. I don't want to I'm good for over talking people, so I don't want to over talk anybody. So what the documentary is based on is an event we did last summer called a Redonkulous Reminiscence. Okay. We held the event at Showboat, and it was in one of the in the biggest ballroom in Showboat, which is actually the biggest ballroom in Atlantic City. So the purpose of the event, because again, we've all been friends for so long, and the purpose of the event was to honor our loved ones that have passed on. Again, we're all close knit. We're all family at this point. So of course, each of our parents, for instance, Kevin's mom was like a second mom to me. One of our other members, LeVar, his father was like a father.
Kubri's queen.
Yes. So
LeVar Kubri's queen.
It was a cool way to honor each of our loved ones that have passed on. We had tables decorated and designed for honoring basically each of the people. We had 15 honorees all together. And so we had people kind of get up on stage and share their memories, share stories.
Hey, Josh.
And that was really cool. But just also a good way to bring family together. There were some folks who hadn't seen each other in years, so it was a good way to bring family together. But the purpose of the documentary is, and it's called A Road to the Reminiscence. So because we're describing our journey, our mission, our passion, what kind of went into putting on something like this. Heck, we make comic books. So it's like, how do you go from making comic books to putting on an event of this nature? Because we want people to know that, yes, Redonkulous is fun and we're hyped and we have a lot of energy and everything.
Take me in. Tag me in.
Tag him in. Tag him in.
Tag me in. Tag me in. Okay, I'm tagged in. Back to what piggybacking on what Tiny was saying, and we call it a role because, like, just like you, Leslie, my mom was sick and she passed. So that's why when you said that, I was sympathetic. So for us during Corona, during the pandemic, during all hell breaking loose, the world was in chaos, to still manage to go on. That wasn't an easy role. We had to deal with so many deaths, just like everybody else during the year.
Yes.
And we had to deal with so much death. I don't want to reveal too much in the documentary, but while we was setting up, while we was actually setting up the event, well, you'll find out in the documentary, somebody passed away the day of we were setting up the event. So now we had to incorporate them. And it was so hard and mentally stressful that the documentary is really going to show why we call it a reminiscence. It wasn't necessary. It's not just, just have a reminiscence, boom. It was complicated. It was hard. There was a lot of trials and tribulations to overcome. So back to your, I might let you finish talking. Back to one of your questions, though.
Yeah, but before you answer that, hold that thought. Where will we be able to see this documentary once it airs?
Okay. So we're going to have an event for it where it's going to be shown on a big screen. So you follow us on Instagram to find that out. And then eventually we're going to put it on our YouTube channel, of course.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Go ahead. What were you going to say, though?
Oh, man, I lost my thought.
You know, hold the thought.
So the most honorable thing, I think, besides living in the moment, which was true, I do live in the moment. I think that the reminiscence personally touched me because, we're family. So to honor everybody's loved ones, aunts, uncles, mothers, our dog, the family dog. I think that was one of the most touching. But this hashtag First Lady, Josh is. I'm sorry, Ty, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say that.
I was just about to say also that we wanted to show people that, yeah, redonkulous means fun. It does mean silly and a lot of energy and everything, but there's also a deeper meaning to it as well. For us, redonkulous means
everything.
Everything. It does.
Everything.
Including
sad emotions.
Being able to honor people, being able to honor those who have meant so much to us, because without them, there wouldn't be a redonkulous.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's wonderful. I really do. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. I really am. Just knowing that a little bit about you all and now actually having this interview today, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And for someone who is just looking to plug into seeing ceremonies that honor people that have passed away. And, Kev, I'm sorry about your mom too. We are, I've been telling people this, and I don't want to leave on a sad note, but to lose your mom is probably one of the most difficult things you're ever going to go through in your life. And recently, with everything that is going on with everybody, I told somebody that this is something that a lot of people don't understand until you get to that place where you lose your mother. But it is now I embrace people into the family of kids who have been orphaned as a result of losing a mom.
Right.
And it is. I don't know if it is the fact that person carried you for 9 months and you have this symbiotic relationship with that person, but it is unique unto itself. It is unique to them. It is life-changing. It is life-changing in the sense that you start to reflect on how you're going to live your life from this point on.
Yeah.
Because
wow. It's amazing you said that. I don't want to get too deep about it. I try not to get deep on camera about it. It is like that. It's life-changing. I think personally, for me and Redonkulous Entertainment, that's part of the goal. I think it's so life-changing that's even more drive for me to,
It's more of a drive. It's more of a drive. You put your life in perspective at this point, and your goal, and believing, depending on how you believe, but my ultimate goal is to see my mom again. So my whole life changed in that moment about how I do things, the urgency in what I do, not letting things just stay as they are, but actually making sure that I fix these things to get to that point. It is a unique experience that only someone who has lost their mom will understand.
Like, I think I personally, just by listening to you, I told you I'm gonna get choked up. I'm going to make sure you see the whole documentary. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make sure you personally see it, because I think you would truly appreciate the art behind it.
I'm sure I will, because I know. And you always have a friend in me if you're ever going through it, because I'm walking that journey with you.
Okay.
You don't think about it. I'm walking that journey with you. So, it's an interesting thing. That's all I'm going to say. Difficult and interesting. It really is. Mm-hmm. Well, you all, I love you all. I have to tell you all that I have already, I love y'all. I loved y'all from the minute that I interviewed you all back in the day. I can't wish and hope better things to come from this group. And I have the feeling that when that does happen and that moment is going to come, that y'all still going to be who you all are, and you're going to remain true to yourself and true to who you are as a family, as Redonkulous. Ladies and gentlemen, their information is running or scrolling at the bottom. Please like, subscribe, follow them, and you will say that I knew them when they were the hardest working team in Atlantic City. We are doing their show on the 23rd. So we're excited about that. We are going to be interviewed by them, and I promise you it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's going to be. We got something special for that one.
Oh,
no.
Hey. Listen. I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be different, because I'm going to be all cuffs off, because I'm not interviewing. You're going to be interviewing me now, so it's going to be a whole different me that you're going to be seeing. But thank you all so much for hanging out, for waiting while I was going through all of my little tech. You were so patient in the background. And thanks Alisha too, for letting me work it out. She still had a smile on her face, even though I was like, y'all, frantically, I'm having problems. But
it was okay. I think the problems of the show, as a viewer, I think it came out actually better, more comical. I do.
Yeah,
it's more real, and real is always good.
Well,
we know a little something about technical difficulties, so
yes, we do. We know.
And that's the thing. You look at you live. There ain't nothing you can do about it. It is just going to happen. It's just how you can roll with the punches and everything. And now he's saying he wishes he was here. But I will tell you something, because that's Raphael commenting in the background. I will tell you something, that it every time that I have a glitch when doing something live, it always prepares me. It grows me. So that now I know how I'm going to handle things in the future. I am learning every day. I have not perfected this skill set as of yet. It is not streamlined, it is not professional, but I think that's one of the things that people love about it, is that it's just very authentic. So, but I'm learning, you all.
Looks great to me. So
thank you. Oh, this is so sweet. So anyway, everybody, please like and subscribe. Go follow them, and I can't wait to hear about this documentary. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to share it, to let everybody know that a little bit more about who Redonkulous is. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day. Tanya, you married? Kevin, are you married?
No, I'm not married. No. No. Me and my girlfriend live together. We have we got a whole family. I got a 20-year-old to about to be 2-year-old.
Okay, so we don't have to get into details, but I'm just saying. You haven't.
I didn't know how to answer that. I was like, shout out to Shavonda Morris. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. I have a family, so yes, I have a family. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy your Valentine's Day. I hope that you all, get together. I'm supposed to actually be doing a virtual Valentine's Day couples thing with some people. I think it's today. It's not my favorite holiday, by the way. So
I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day either.
What the pressure of it.
Yeah, it's
never been a big
much.
Valentine's Day person. Yeah.
I'm not a big Valentine's Day or Halloween. I'm not.
You're not good on Halloween. Now, Halloween, I do love. I love me some Halloween. Yeah, I love me that. But anyway, you all, very happy Look, Josh, family.
Josh, that's my brother Josh, your sister Queen. He's the assistant to Redonkulous Entertainment.
All right, hey Josh. So anyway, you all have a wonderful holiday. Their 3-day weekend. It is President's Day coming up and everything. Get some rest and stuff like that. And whatever you're doing, don't look at this time. And this is to the audience. Don't look at this time of COVID as being an awful time. Look at this as a time of fertile ground to create. So with that being said, have a happy Saturday, and we will see you next week at 1 o'clock here on Apple Bites with the Bitten Apple TV. Take care.